and let the one who has no sword sell his cloak and buy one.
Hey guys, this is Special Defense Training, and today I want to go over why everyone needs a laser light mounted to their handgun. Stay tuned.
This video is brought to you by Holsters by Defense Training. Make sure to check them out at holstersbydefensetraining.com.
Alright guys, I want to go over today why I suggest everybody having a laser light combo basically mounted to a handgun. Not just a light and not just a laser, but both the combo mounted to the handgun. And if you watched any of my other videos, you actually saw where I don't carry a laser light on my firearm on my person. And I still stick to that. I still do not carry a laser light on my person, a laser nor a light on my firearm on my person. What I do carry on my person every day is an actual flashlight. So this is on me every day. I do have an optics on my firearm. This is the same exact gun that I carry. This is my training one. However, this is what I carry daily. So I carry a Taurus G3 XL, and this is the one that I do on my laser range training, and then I do my live fire with the one that I actually carry. So this is my training one. This is my actual one. So there's very little difference outside of the color. So there is the color difference. I have the same Holosun on it. I do have a ported barrel on this one because I do live fire with this one. This is the way I like it. And then some of the internals on this one haven't been changed out to where this one has all stainless internals. So they're the same gun that I carry. One of them's just for laser range training. The other one is for my self-defense personal firearm, and then for actual range training. And you can see this one, it actually has a laser cartridge down in it, so that's not a real cartridge. In fact, it doesn't even have a magazine that works. It has one with resin down in it. Give it a little bit of weight, so when I'm training, it'll add that authenticity to it. However, the reason I say that you need a laser light on there is for nighttime, when you're asleep. Not just walking out and about during the night, because if I'm awake at night, I have an optic on my firearm, I have a flashlight on me, and if I'm awake, you know, say it's 10 or 11 at night, we just got out of church or something, that's usually the only time I'm out that late. Typically I'm at home before it gets dark, unless it's a church night. And if it is a church night, sometimes I don't get home till after 10 and it's dark outside. But even then, with it being dark outside, I'm good. So I've got my flashlight. I can put it on the attacker, and then I can pull my optic up with my handgun and pull the optic up, and I can see this person very easily. No big deal at all. However, this is a different story when I'm sleeping. So, and this is for everybody. So when you're asleep and you've been asleep for 2 or 3 hours, and your eyes have adjusted to the darkness, you can usually, especially if you have any kind of light on in your room or any kind of light bleeding into your room, you know, street lights or whatever, you can usually see in the dark fairly decently. You know, you can look and you can see at least good shadows of stuff around the room. So your eyes are so dilated that you can see. But the bad part about it is, even with the optic here, and the optics don't pick up great at all on camera, and I mean at all. Oh, there it is. So you see how bad this optic is during the middle of the night, how bad the camera picks up that optic. During the middle of the night, this is going to be worse. So you're going to be so starburst trying to see stuff with your eyes. You just woke up, you're groggy, you're not going to be able to see what's going on. You know somebody's in your house, they're attacking you or whatever's going on. It's just hard to see. It just is. So basically every evening when I take my gun off of me, now to preface this, every morning when I wake up, I eat my breakfast. Now I've got guns staged around the house, so it's not a big deal. If I'm cooking breakfast and somebody kicks in the door to my house, I've got a gun staged in the kitchen. If somebody's trying to kick the door in and I'm in the living room, I've got 2 guns staged in the living room. If somebody kicks the door in and I'm in the bathroom, I've got a gun staged in each bathroom. I've got a gun staged in the office. I've got guns staged in the bedroom. So if there's ever a time that my gun's not on me, I have guns staged, so it's not that big of a deal. However, I wake up, I eat breakfast, shower, whatever I need to do that, but when I'm putting my clothes on, the gun goes on me. And the gun doesn't come off of me until I take my clothes off, and typically that's not until I'm showering at night. And typically I don't shower at night until I'm getting ready to go to bed. So that gun stays on me all day long. I've got a gun on me, I can just pull it off my body, and I don't have to grab my staged guns. But every single night when I pull my gun off of me, what I do is I have an Olight. Now I'm a huge Olight fan. If you haven't followed my stuff, go to the Olight videos and check out the Olight videos that I've done. I've done a couple videos on the Olight. I'm a huge fan. I have the Olight Ball-Door Mini. I'm a huge fan of the Olight Ball-Door Mini. One of the reasons it's only rated at 600 lumens. In all honesty, it's probably about 500 lumens. And then it has the laser light. So here's the laser light. I'm going to pop it over, laser and light, and then pop it back over and light only. However, I keep it on laser light. I keep it on the combo. I'm going to try to pull it up. So this is about what you're going to see. And if you see on the camera, this is fairly wide and starburst to what it's actually going to look like with your regular eyes. But this is what I do. So these are easy on and off. So I've got my railing, and all you have to do is change the block here. You just have to change that block out. So this is for the 1913. You can also change it to the Glock style, which is the skinnier. And all you do is you basically just put it on, sit it back where you want it, and it's ready to go. That's it. The first time what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to adjust your laser to your gun, basically. And typically my sights are right, my optics right, so I just have to adjust the laser to my optic. And that makes it very easy. And you only usually have to do this one time. I've never had to readjust this. So I just aim with my optic because I know my optic's right. I aim this with my optic. It's sitting at the same point as my optic dot. And then I will fire it on the live fire range and make sure that everything's right and we're good to go. But every evening I will place it, I will sit it here, and that's all I have to do. So now when I roll over, all I have to do is grab my gun. I'm not fumbling around. I'm going to show you a little bit about that here in a minute, but I'm not fumbling around trying to do anything. I just grab this and it's on, and I just grab it, it's on. I've got that laser light here, so I've got the light, 600 lumens, I've got the laser, and I can take care of business. I can see what's going on. And when I have to charge it, these chargers are magnetic. That's all you do to the charger. And this this end, you know, it plugs into the USB style. But what I do is I have a lamp right here, basically, and I actually loop it around my lamp. So it'll have a little loop there. Yeah, a little bit bigger, something like that. And it goes to the USB plug. Now it's lanyarded to my lamp. And if something happens in the middle of the day, and when it's charging, this is going to be red, and when it's full, it's going to be green. And then what will happen is if it's charging and something's going on in the middle of the night, it will work on charge, but I don't need it to. All I have to do is grab it and go, because this is kind of lanyarded around my lamp. I just loop it around the lamp when I'm using it, and it will sit here. I just grab it and I go. So it just comes off. Now I don't have to worry about, you know, I don't have to worry about this dangling around or anything like that. I had it lanyarded. I think that's a word, lanyarded, hopefully. But it's lanyarded to my lamp, and then I grab it, and it just comes right off. So this is how I use these in the middle of the night. So I can see what's going on, so I know what's happening, and I can get on target. And then I don't have to worry about fumbling around. And I do keep a flashlight by my bed. In fact, I keep 2 flashlights by my bed. However, using the flashlight when you're groggy and stuff, and plus, if let's say I've got a flashlight on my bed, on the table by my bed, my nightstand, and even I've got it staged even, I've got to do 2 processes now. So I've got to grab this, I've got to grab this, and now I can get into business, whether it's this or whether I do the strobe or just a full press of the button. But I've got to get this and then try to find this, and it's middle of the night, I'm trying to go what's going on. This just makes it more complicated than it has to be. You know, I don't have the laser light on there. I've just got the gun, I've got the flashlight. It's the middle of the night, I hear a crash, I go to grab this, and there went my flashlight. I don't have a flashlight now, it's on the floor. So now I've got to get into this and try to take care of business. However, if I have a laser light on here, it's just a one-step process, and I just push that button on and I can get into business. I'm a huge fan of having the laser light on your firearm at night while you're asleep. I'm not a big fan at all of having this on during the day. In fact, I don't like it. I don't carry one of them. I do carry my flashlight. So this is how I carry it during the day, and then I get the Olight Baldor Mini, and I'll put a link below to be able to purchase those. They're actually really good lights. I've owned these for several years now, probably about 5 or 6 years or more, and I've never had a problem with them. Never. The only problem I've ever had is just silly me not charging them. Just letting them go and go and go and not charging them, because you do, it's the batteries, you do have to charge them. So just make sure you keep them charged. I just throw it on the charger about once a month, and no big deal. And it charges right back up, and we're good to go. We're in business. So you just take it, set it where you want it. That's all you have to do. Every single night, it takes about 5 seconds. Pop it on there. It's sitting on my nightstand. I've got flashlight and laser and gun all in one hand, and I don't have to go trying to grab my flashlight, trying to find a couple other things. The gun's right there, and I'm good to go. So what I want to do is I want to show you a little bit about this. I want to show you how easy it is to get on target in the middle of the night. So let's go check that out. Alright guys, I'm in here. I'm in one of my training rooms. I'm in the virtual range side of my training room. And I want to show you a couple things. So you can see the target. You barely see the target. I've got the light on behind me, but you can barely see the target. You're not going to have this much light at night. However, I wanted to be able to see a couple things. So I'm going to throw up the optic here. And this optic should be out of focus. I've got it focused on the target. I don't have autofocus on. I took it off. And you can see this is fairly starbursting. This isn't good. It's decent, but it's not great. And you're not going to be able to focus on stuff the way you would want to. It's going to be more like that. So this is very out of focus. This is what your eyes are going to do in the middle of the night. So it's very, very hard to pick up on this. So this is starburst. You're not going to have... you're not going to have this. So this is pretty crisp and clear. You're not going to have this in the middle of the night. You're not going to be crisp, clear. You're probably going to be more, you're probably going to try to look, you're going to be more like this. So this is going to be this is very hard to focus on. You're not being able to see. It's the middle of the night. The sky is broken to your house. You're looking around. You don't know what's going on. You're fumbling for your flashlight. So even I've got my flashlight here, and I'm going to cut my flashlight on. I've got my flashlight. Now this is what all this is going to look like, because I'm trying to focus, I'm trying to see, and this is terrible. This is what you're going to deal with trying to do this in the middle of the night. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my flashlight, and I absolutely love optics. However, I do know enough to where I wear glasses, and this goes for any of you guys that don't wear glasses as well, but it's just that much worse when you do wear glasses. I'm not going to have my glasses on, or I'm not going to have my contacts in the middle of the night. I know some of you do sleep with contacts in, but even then you've gotten groggy, your eyes are blurred, and then you're dilated so much that stuff's happening. You're just not going to be able to see it. And you've got that gun, you're trying to focus on them, you're trying to pull focus to them, and it is hard. I'm trying to go, this is me trying to get it through the camera is about what it's going to be like for you in the middle of the night, and groggy even if you do get that flashlight on. I mean, I am blurred. I can't see anything. What's going on? I don't know what's happening. I can't see. I don't know what's going on. This is hard. This is just absolutely ridiculously hard. I'm not saying I've never trained like this, because I have. However, this is what we're going to have. Now, I'm going to run the focus back up a little bit better. I think it's somewhere in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this up. I'm not going to show the gun because I want you to be able to see the target, but I'm going to do the gun right over the camera, and we'll see what we have. Boom, right there. We can see it. It's a little starburst even through the camera. It's very crisp from where I'm at. However, your eyes are going to be groggy. You're starburst. So I'm starburst here with my eyes groggy. I'm going to zoom in. But this is what I'm going to have. I'm going to be able to hit this guy. It's on him. I know that this thing is sighted in properly. I'm going to be able to hit this guy. I've got my muscle memory up for recoil. That's really all I need outside of being able to see the target. The light's on the target. The laser is on the target. Now I can take care of business. So I've got this guy in my sights. We're here. And boom. I just tagged him with my laser sight. Boom. Just tagged him again. And boom. I can get him every single time. My eyes are not that big of a deal at this point. Yes, they're still going to be blurry. You're probably going to see, it's probably going to be more like this, of what you're going to be seeing in the middle of the night. But I can still, even with this, with it on him like that, I hit him. I got this guy. This takes a lot of stuff and puts it in my favor because this guy's awake. He's in the middle of the night. He's probably on crack, meth, something like that, some PCP, middle of the night. This is what I'm seeing with him. He's not very focused. My eyes are probably blurring in and out. You know, even if I've got decent here, I can still hit him. Even though everything's still blurred on my side, I see this guy. I've got the laser on him. The light is shining on him. The light's blinding him. It's really, really bright to him. And I will actually show you that here in a second. But I can get him. I don't have to worry about my eyes being a little blurred. I can get him. So I'm good to go as far as that aspect is concerned. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to back it back out. So I'm going to go back out. We're about 20 feet away from this. I'm going to back it back out. I am going to flip that around. I'm going to turn this off and look to make sure that I shine it at. I don't want to shoot the camera with the laser, but I do want to make sure that I'm straight with the camera. So here we are, boom. I've got you blinded and the laser light is right below it. And I mean right below. So I'm going to go over it now. The laser light is right over it. So I can blind you nice and bright, and then you really can't see what's going on. Blinding again, I've actually stepped off to the side, can't see what's going on here. Now I'm going to step back over and I'm going to blind, and I can kind of control the situation at this point because I'm shooting the swivel head of the tripod right under. I don't want to hit the sensor and mess it up with the laser, but this is what we have. And this is what the attacker is going to see, and he will also see the laser on his chest, and that's what we want. So this is why I highly, highly suggest in this type of situation, I've got this, I'm here, I can get this guy. I want to pull this back up a little bit, show you kind of what I'm seeing. That's probably about what I'm seeing here. And you're blurred here, out of focus, you might be like this. But even like this, I've still got this guy. So I still have that green dot on him until I can get my eyes to wake up and focus in a little bit better. Once I get them focused up, they're probably not going to go perfect, but they might go somewhere in here. You're still starbursting. It's the middle of the night, and I've got this guy. And this is what we want. All right, guys, let's go back to the table. All right, guys, so we're back. I showed you a little bit about that. Again, I'm a huge fan of having these on the firearm in the middle of the night. Set it by your nightstand, put the Olight Baldor Mini on there. And I don't even go for the bigger ones. So Olight has the brighter ones. I actually don't go for the brighter ones. For most of you, you aren't going to train enough to be ready for that 1,000 or 1,500 lumens. And those of you guys that are using them and you're not practicing with them in the middle of the night in your house in the setting that you're going to be in, I don't mean just outside. I mean you need to be in your house. You know, if you've got light colored walls and you pop that light on, that 15,000 to 1500 lumens on, and you're not used to it, it's going to blind you. Even faced away, shining away from you, it's going to blind you. So you need to practice that. Now, if you practice it and you get used to it, it's not so bad. You can get around that. Because I did carry the Baldor Pro one time, and the Baldor Pro is bright, or the Pro R, I'm sorry, and the Baldor Pro R is bright. Mine's dead right now, but it is bright. It's a bigger it's a bigger weapons light. It has the instant on strobe. If you pop both sides, the strobe comes on. That's another thing. If you have a strobing light, you need to practice that during the night too. So guys, I just wanted to show you that of why I suggest every single person that has a firearm, you need my suggestion. It's cheap enough. It works really, really good. It keeps up with the high-end guys. It keeps its sighting. You know, you adjust your laser to it. It keeps that. I've never had a problem with that. I've shot thousands of rounds through guns with these on it. I've never had a problem with it losing its sighting. I've never had a problem with the light blinking on and off or anything like that. I've never had problems with them. And they're not as expensive as your other laser light combos. And they work very, very well. Again, I'm going to link that down below. But this is why I suggest every single person have a laser light combo on their gun at night. Alright guys, this is Spencer with Defense Training. Stay safe, stay armed.
We've been instructing firearm training courses since 2008 and offer South Carolina concealed weapons permit classes, church safety security team training, advanced handgun training, ultrasonic handgun cleaning, and much more. Go to defensetraining.org for more info and to get signed up for a class. Also, make sure to check out our online store for our custom Kydex handgun and magazine holsters. We offer in the waistband, outside the waistband, appendix, and our new track appendix carry holster, as well as active retention magazine holsters, and other firearm and everyday carry accessories. Check them out at holstersbydefensetraining.com. We hope to see you at our next video.